Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barton. Okay, so last time we came to a somewhat disturbing realization that our cult are not ready for certain expeditions. And because of that, we have decided that it's best if we go on less strenuous ones for the time being. So, given that, we're going to go to Crocus Hill here. We're going to ask Neville to lead it. Rose has expressed the desire to go on one of the upcoming expeditions. People are feeling a bit better about the fact that we had a success last time, so we feel Father Ted feels it's probably a good time to send her now. So herself and Neville prepare to go to Crocus Hill. The one who came here before us has marked the door in the hillside, and here it may yet be, but it is sealed beside with stone and binding spell. Okay. And the two of them head off. We know others will go. We don't know who it will be yet, but for once in a long time, people seem excited at the prospect of getting to go, rather than, that unspoken fear that was there in the last while. Now people, they want to be associated with the success of the cult again. And it's something that we need to harness and to make sure that we don't let this opportunity slip. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. Okay, so we ask Rainier to go, just as a kind of a sealing of the deal, and if possible, we're going to ask as well Valcine to go along with this. So we're going to send a lot of the major forces within the cult at the same time. The air is curdled now. I am home again, in this lumpen flesh. Better, perhaps. My minion has returned. The evidence has been destroyed. I am a little safer. So, as we were discussing who would go next, have a chat with Valcine, and she agrees that she would like to go. Seems very enthusiastic about it. And as our meeting finishes, we spot Isabeth out of the corner of our eye. And she just gives us a nod. That's all we need. We know the job is done. Isabeth is reliable. We don't need to check up on her work. That nod is enough to say that detective will not be an issue. For a while at least. And Father Ted, despite himself, can feel just the beginnings of a smile creeping onto his lips. Slight upturning at the corners. Not much more than that, but it's probably the most content he's felt in a long time. Looks like the cult has been dragged back from the precipice over which it hung. Right, so let's continue on. Let's pop ourselves in here. All doors must open, as all lives must end. The door has found its end here today. As a reward for her good work, we ask Isabeth to go and join what we presume is going to be a successful expedition. Let her share a little in the glory. We can't publicly acknowledge the work that she's just done for us, but we can. This is the next big thing for it. Last night I visited the lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I do not need them anymore. Any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities, which have come from knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kerisham days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay, so we'll grab that. The rest of this can go up there. Okay, so you're going to be sorted out. I'm going to have to do something to sort you out. Okay, but for now, let's run things on. It is almost possible to stand upright in this place, but the air is foul and our lamps burn low. Here's the warrior king staked out on the funeral stone, his bones smashed to keep him from walking. The orbits of his skull are bound with bronze. Okay, pop that there. Right now, Dorothy. Dorothy, we haven't spoken much lately, but I've got some cult business for you to take care of. Don't spread this around just yet, because I don't want to take away from the plaudits that the guys will receive. I want their success to be a surprise to the rest, or at least for their reaction when they arrive to be genuine. But it certainly does seem as if we're going to be successful on yet another expedition. But, as always, successful expeditions leave evidence that can maybe be followed back to us. So I'd like you to go to Crocus Hill and just tidy the scene up a little. Ensure that our detective friend has nothing to find there. And Dorothy looks at us and says, I'm glad we had this conversation, Ted. And I would like it if, in the future, maybe we had a few more too. I'm willing to do my part for the cult, as always. And all you need to do is ask. Ted files that little bit of information away for the future. Makes a mental note to get Dorothy a little bit more involved in things in the future. The Warrior's End. Others have been here before us. Power still lingers, and no doubt they use it in their ceremonies. They have taken some of the Warrior King's funeral treasures, but left something of their own. So, let's see what we've got. So we have our notoriety. That is done as well, so you can pop to this level. Okay. You two we're going to combine next. It looks like you're glimmering. You certainly are. Right, so we'll pop passion in there and study that. Good. Right, next. Bone flute is for winter. You can go join up there. We then have the Book of the Centipede, which is written in Greek, so you can sit there. We have Meteoric Bullet, which is 4 edge, so you can go sit there. We have some Piebald Pigment for Moth, you can sit there. And you, an Icy Atmosphere, can go sit there. Okay, good. Now, next thing is Ted decides we've had a couple of good, really good successes, and I want to keep things going. I want to keep their momentum going. So, Kelgan Scratch. Here the Romans dug for silver until they reached the unsanctioned space where the names hid things not fit for sunlight. Many others have come since then, even as the tunnels crumble. Some have never left. Okay, so we pop you there. And then we say, Enid, it's time for you to go and lead a successful mission. Valsine is going to go with you. And we'll send others as and when they're needed. We prepare for the descent. We bring rope, tools, light. We arm ourselves against anything down there that may yet move. Okay, send those guys on. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane, if that means anything. Pop up there. We're now going to do this as well. We need to. In times of special crisis, I might visit a discreet pharmacist to purchase a tincture of opium and make my dreams sweet, but only in times of a special crisis. Okay, and we start that up, because you are now at 2. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It will consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So, we have Forge or Lantern there. We have a bit of Forge. And then we have Edge or Winter. So we have a little bit of Winter. So what are we going to do? I can never remember which one occurs first of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send someone who will bump up this. And then if it turns out that we need Forge first, we're going to send someone with Forge instead. Right, so, winter people. Where are winter people? Eau Claire. We have a chat with Eau Claire and say, Eau Claire, I don't know if I've said this to you lately, but I really am appreciative of everything you do for the cult. You know, not everyone notices, but I do. And I would like you to go on this expedition because I feel that the expertise that you have that maybe others lack will be telling here. And off she goes. He's on the lookout. We have gotten rid of the notoriety. Dorothy, enthusiastic as ever, comes rushing in to Father Ted and says, "It's done, it's done. I got rid of it. Don't worry. He'll not find anything there." And Ted, given the events of recent times, can't help himself actually hugging her, which is something that he wouldn't normally do. Just the tension of that's been around lately has been broken. He just can't help it because Dorothy is so enthusiastic about things. And again, he allows himself to smile and feels like maybe things will be okay. Now, we need to combine these two. Oh, we wait for it to ask, as it were. Okay, continue on. Now, let's check there. Actually, let's deal with you first. Then let's check here. The madrigal is the hour of forge as well as winter. Her power might quiet the unsteady earth. Will probably be fine. Okay, so we approach Violet and say, Violet, I'd like you to go join the guys. And Violet's, she's been around. She's been in other cults before. She knows what needs to be done. She needs little instruction on what to prepare. And she just says, I'll go do my part. Right, so let's see there. So you have... Okay. We're going to get another tincture of opioid. Start that. Promising root reveals itself as a sucking snare. We'll have to go around and try again. That's not good. Not good at all. Uh-oh. Right, so had a little bit of a mishap. And it looks like it is it Enid? Yeah, it looks like maybe Enid has gotten herself in a little bit of trouble. We're going to send Tristan along to help out. Their wounds are grievous. Heal a fallen follower with talk. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. See what happens when your tongue tries to get ahead of itself. Not good. Right. Let's get things done here. So Enid comes back. And some people notice and they think, wait, wasn't Enid on the expedition? Has she gotten injured again? And Ted breathes a sigh, heavy sigh. Sends Enid off to hospital for treatment. And tells the people, listen, we can't be doing this every time. We've talked before. Even when we have success, people are possibly going to get hurt. And you need to harden up. You need to realize that. And then there may be some whispers going on. But some of the people that we've been good to recently, the likes of Dorothy and Neville, just go out there and fight Ted's corner for him. And for now, it looks like things are going to be okay. Enid has been injured, but as Ted said, it's part of being in the cult. We're still going to be successful. We evoked the magic of an hour of Forge, as well as a winter. We'll make our own path through. Success is almost certain. Okay, good. And then Laidlaw was one of those people who expressed concern at seeing Enid. And Ted went to Laidlaw and said, listen, lately you've been doing a lot of complaining, a lot of talking. It's time for you to go there and contribute. Do something for the cult rather than always trying to undermine it and bring it down. Prove yourself. And Laidlaw, at first, is taken aback by what we said. And starts off maybe a little defensive. But then tries to explain themselves, saying, I just want the cult to be successful. And I don't like seeing my friends here in the cult get injured. And Ted says, that's understandable. I never like to see anyone get injured either, but Enid is a big girl. She's been injured before. She knows the sacrifice she's making. And if you don't want others to be getting injured, then when you go there, make sure you do the best you can. Keep an eye out for the others. And perhaps everything will be fine. Laidlaw nods and professes that he'll do his best out there. And Ted says, that's all I ask of any of you. And sometimes our best is not good enough. But that's okay. The only time that I'm concerned is when people don't do their best and cause others to be injured. And off trots Laidlaw. Okay, we have our glimmering there, which is nice. I'm going to sit you there, although we already have the glimmering that we actually need. But still, it's always good to have one. Oh, we missed you though. So maybe you are going to be good because that one's going to be gone, right? Look at this, it's just going to be a few seconds. So we don't need to worry about you. You put that in there and keep an eye on it this time. Make sure that we slot the glimmering when it's necessary or when it's needed. We're mud splattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. Okay, good. Enid sees the gaps between things in the arts that she has learned permit her sometimes to place fingers in the gaps. So Enid now has a second wound. If she gets the third one, she's going to die. So Ted at this stage would take Enid aside and say, listen, Enid, you are an important member of this cult. Not just because you're a key, but because of what you inspire in others. And that's why I've been driving you so hard. That's why I asked you to go on so many expeditions. But now, I feel it's too risky for you to go on expeditions. At this point, Enid would interrupt and say, I'm fine. I can do it. I know what the risks are. I'm willing to take them. And Ted says, I know. That's why you're such a trusted member of the cult. I can always count on you to do what is needed to, even if that comes at a price to yourself. I'd wish that every member of the cult was like that, but they're not. And I need members like you to ensure that the cult does what is necessary. But if I lose you, perhaps I lose the cult too. So I can't take the risk of sending you once more there. Anything can happen out on those expeditions, and you've had 2 severe injuries, and I fear that the third will be the end of you. You are more valuable to me and to the cult here. I want you to be my eyes and ears. I want you to inspire the others. And Enid thinks about it for a moment. And then she says, although I would like to serve the cult by going on more expeditions, I can see your point. I would give my life for this cult, but if giving my life would mean the end of the cult, then I can see how it would not be a good thing for me to go on future expeditions. You can count on me to do my best to ensure that those in the cult who are wavering a little are pulled back towards our purpose. And Ted would thank her and say, soon let's talk about doing some rites and exploring that side of things. I think that you may be the person to lead such an effort. It may be risky, but it's a different risk. It is surprised by this revelation, but happy. Ted has committed to doing some rites, but he's still not sure what those rites are going to be, and he needs to think on them carefully. They need to be ones that will be beneficial to the cult. And it may be that soon is not as soon as Enid would think. But the words have been spoken, and they cannot be unspoken. Ted now needs to needs to begin planning what kind of rites are going to be done. And we wait to see how the guys do on the expedition. Supplies are low. Okay, so now we have the next one. Edge or winter. We have 10 winter. Do we have... I don't think... No, because... Yeah, none of you guys are winter. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do is... I'm going to call Dorothy in. And say, Dorothy, you know the guys are off on another expedition at Crocus Hill? Is that... I think that's where they are. He says, yes. Would you like me to clean up like last time? Shakes his head, says, not this time. I think Leo can handle that. What I need from you now is, I'd like you to go on the expedition and to experience it for yourself. Dorothy, again, enthusiastic, a little shout of glee, hugs Ted once more, and then professes that he won't regret the decision. And off she trots with a spring in her step. And Ted can feel his confidence re-emerging. The cult has been renewed. So he's on the lookout. We're going to have to get Leo going soon as well. Oh, maybe a bit too late. So Dorothy got to go. We can try again when dust is settled. Okay, so something prevented us from doing that, but I don't know what it was. Logistical difficulties. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. We should have sent money, I'm pretty sure, instead of a person at that point. I think that's what it is. So we've got some dread and some mystique. And Dorothy comes back, maybe not as enthusiastic as before, but it was Kelgan's Scratch. That's where he went. Okay, Crocus Hill was last time. And says, sorry, apparently I got there and they said they were expecting me to bring cash, but I had none with me, so I didn't know what to do. So we just came back. So then we decide, okay, well, if that is the case, we're gonna go again. I'm gonna send those two again. Yeah, so when we get the chance, this time we are actually going to send some money. Just need to keep an eye on it, I think. Now, and we also need to keep an eye on you. Let's put that in there. And you are a bit of an issue, so let's get some opium on the go. Okay, so it's this one first, which is Forge a Lantern. So let's send a Forge person. So Tristan, off you go. And get some nice contentment as well. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Now, unfortunately, both of these have popped up at the same time. Oh, that deep piece, but I should not do this again. We're going to have to, because unless we get lucky, only one of you is going to be used there. Well, only one of you is definitely going to be used there, but unless we get lucky and get another one, another random one, we're going to have to do that again. Okay. We invoke the Magicka, the Narrow Forge, as well as Winter. We'll make our own path through. Success is almost certain. And then Violet is going to go as well. Yeah, so that contentment is taken. You, though, only have 40 seconds left, so 52 left on that. Means no chance for you to be used there. So now we are going to do this again. Okay, and that is done, which is good. That can move up there. Now we're going to start translating these. Bit of an injury there, okay. So we're going to have to use it there. So you're going to have to be kept aside. Okay. So this time, we're going to send funds. Got some more content there. You can go sit there. Oh, you got taken. Okay, good. Start that. Okay, now. The dead circle the edge of our vision like frayed dreams. The very air around us is chill with winter shadow. They must recognize that. Okay. So we've sent all of our we've sent all the people that we need to send. So gonna call Dorothy in again and say, listen, the guys came back and I sent them immediately back out. Now, not everybody knows that they're there still, because there's a bit of confusion about whether they actually came back at all yet. But I want you know the way. I want you to get yourself out there. Don't worry about funds. If funds are needed, I will send funds after you. You just get there and do your best. And as usual, Dorothy face splits into a big grin. She gives head another hug and goes, this time it's not just a pep in her step, she goes running off to get ready. And that feels like, yeah, maybe gonna be another success. And maybe Dorothy has a big future in the cult as well. Okay, prepare that for study, so we'll move that over there. Let's pause for a second. Right, so let's get the Sanskrit one translated as well. Let's deal with you. So, okay, good. The dead are more like wind than flesh, but it doesn't do to underestimate the wind. Just now they are a terrifying hurricane, a pale shadow. Fall back, fall back. Oh no, that is not good. We're struggling again. Gonna be another injury, I think. Ted is gonna start feeling like he's cursed at this point. Okay, what have we got here? Christmas plan. Okay, so we're going to send funds. Actually, not yet, because it's going to consume that one fund. So, yeah, and imagine at this point, Head is kind of getting a bit desperate. Probably go to Elridge and say, listen, Elridge, I know what your skills and desires are. I'd like you to use your skill and satiate your desire out there with the guys. And whatever it is that is causing the problems, you end it. And send them off. And let's see, so work is done. Get that going. Call you in and say, listen, Leo, I'm not sure if you've heard, but the guys have gone, they've headed out again. I'm not sure if they're going to be successful or not, but I want you to head out that way. And if you spot any kind of evidence that could count against us, you know what to do. And Leo says, I do indeed. And heads out after the guys. Okay, so you have been translated. You can move in one. Now we'll translate the last one that we have waiting. Apart from all the ones that we don't actually know the language for. That's okay. The sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. The dead circle the edge of vision like frayed dreams. The very air around us is chill with winter shadow. They must recognize that. Okay. So, Ted would then go to Victor and say, Victor, yourself and Elridge make a very good team. He's headed out to do a little job for me. I'm sure he's spoken to you about it. And Victor begins to protest and say that no, he hasn't. Ted would stop him there and say, listen, I don't mind. I know that I can't stop everybody talking to their friends about what they're doing in the cult. And I wouldn't want to try and do that either. I just want you to go there and help him. And Victor nods and leaves. And on we go. And then we wait to see if they're going to be successful or not. The dead draw back. Their almost faces flat and watchful. They will not trouble us. It seems that the guys have done good. Okay, he's on the lookout again, which is not good. Okay, and my phone, I've just plugged it in, so it's making lovely noises for us. Put that there. And that is ready to be studied as well. That's good. Right. So we are going to study you first. The Book of the Centipede. The centipede always found her way into the dark places. When she was punished for it, she reacted badly. In the Mantis, as in the Mia. Okay. Now, we're going to send some funds because they don't have any at the moment. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glow recedes. I'm saying if that means anything. Connect you and pop you up there. So unfortunately, we didn't time things right with Leo. Leo comes back and says, I've gone out, I've had a look. I don't see anything there at the minute, but it could be that, the guy's apparently still out there. So it could be that whatever is there, hasn't, maybe they're going to leave something else when they're done. So having heard that, Ted says, well, listen, Leo, just go out and have another look. Just make sure. And Leo says, yep, not a problem. And Leo probably mentions as well, having seen the detective out there while he was there. It's going to be interesting to see who manages to snag the notoriety. Once a lady, the air is stale and dust sifts worryingly down from the rock above, but the dead lie still. This chamber, with its chalk figures and ancient stains, looks promising. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get it, because he's going to be the only one in position. Oh, he actually just finished, so he ain't going to get anything. The river runs through the sands of our myths into legend. The painted river runs the other way. One is barred to the centipede now, but she finds ways back in, sometimes. So we got a Forgotten Chronicle, which is nice. Okay. And then here, in a lead-lined sarcophagus lies the skeleton of a woman. She wasn't buried here. It looks like she was crawled in to die. Something has happened to the shape of her skull, pushing out the jaw like the muzzle of a beast. Scraps of rotting linen swathe her bones. Treasures lie among the remains of her clutching hands between her ribs. Grab those. Right, so we have our notoriety there. We have the cracked wildering mirror that can be repaired. It's good. A deep crack runs across the shimmering metal. A forge aspect follower could repair it with sufficient resources, or it could be used to power, or we could use up what power remains in it. Okay, and then beads blade, maybe. The cut from this blade will not cease bleeding until the wound is healed. One account has it that Bede was a knife-collecting surgeon highwayman in 18th century Toulouse. Another claims Bede is only the bastardization of an Arabic word for musky. Okay, cool. Let's pop you there. And you are 8th level actually, so you should go up there. Now, I think that's where we're gonna finish that one. I think we've gone a few minutes longer than we normally would. But yeah, things are happening in the cult indeed. And yeah, we're gonna be interested to see how things progress in the future. But for now, that's it for me. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you keep me safe out there, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.